Uh, well, good afternoon everybody. This is Ronnie for the Yard Adventure Centre. I hope everybody's doing well. We are missing you all here at the yard. I'm obviously here in the yard art room, and I wanted to just come back and do a little update and give you the second part of our pinata making activity. Now, thank you for everybody that had a look at the first part of the pinata making activity online at the Yard Adventure Centre. We're trying to do as many little videos as we can just to provide as many opportunities for play, creation, art, sensory activities as we can, and just let you know we were thinking of you. And for everybody that has been to the yard, you know how much I do like a pinata, and we've had them at our summer fairs, we've had them at our Halloween parties and our Christmas parties. So yeah, as you can see here, we have, and I've done a little bit of work on them in between the last video and this video obviously, just obviously wanting to be prepared. So obviously we have the iceberg here. So as you can see, I've added the colour to the iceberg. We have Sonic over here as well, who's got his colours on the day too. And then obviously here in the middle, who isn't totally finished, I'm going to talk you through that a little bit this afternoon, is Elsa. So we have her here too. Now obviously, once we put the paper mache on them and stuff, we gave them 2 coatings of paper mache, we allowed them to dry. I actually gave them an undercoat of white paint, so that was just covered the newspaper in white paint before I actually put the colours on. And then when I did put the colours on, obviously I put 2 coats of each colour on each part of the pinata, just to enhance the colours and kind of to cover the newspaper and stuff like that as well. You know, so yeah, like obviously Elsa here, you know, she's just about finished, as you can see. She's got most of her colours on her at the moment. We've actually made her a little purple pendant here too. And obviously this part of the activity, you're going to need maybe an older sibling or an adult here to help you, because it is a bit tricky and you will need to use a couple of different pieces of equipment and tools to use. What I've got today is I've got a nice pair of sharp scissors and some duct tape. Also I've got some rope here you'll need to thread through your pinata, and I've also got an old wooden spoon as well. Now these are going to help me to initially get the rope in the pinata, but before we do that, I'm just going to talk you through the last process for putting, because obviously you want to cover both sides of your pinata. So as you can see, Elsa here has got her face on both sides, as has the iceberg. You know, we've totally covered them and made them look really colourful and fun. So for the last part of that, what I'm going to do is, now you've only an adult for this, I'm just going to poke a little hole in the pinata, just around the neck area here for Elsa, and we're just going to gently thread the pipe cleaner in. That's all we're going to do. That'll be enough to kind of just allow the pendant necklace here to hold and stay in place, you know. And then, you know, that's the decoration really of the pinata is complete. Once you've got the paint on, you know, initially before I put the paint on, it might be helpful to get a wee pencil and just draw on the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the ears, and any significant features on your pinata. You might want to draw out a wee line just to show you where the colours are going to stop and start. Like as you can see here, this is the snow and this is the ice. So we've got a wee line along the top here, and that might just give you a wee idea where to stop your painting, so to say, and you're going to use a different colour. And this can be a fun thing to do prior to putting the paint on. Again, obviously I'm doing it in the yard art room. And we have the large table here, and we've got a piece of vinyl protected material on the table because this activity, this part of it's not as messy as the first part right now, although I do like kind of messy activities as well. And so just for the last part of this, really, I'm using some yard blue rope. So the idea being, we're just going to get some of this really good masking tape here, the black masking tape that I showed you earlier, and then we're going to line the tape up to the end of the spoon, and I'll bring this round to show you prior to putting it through the pinata. So as you can see here, I'm just going to tape the tape onto the end of the spoon here, and that will hopefully be enough to hold it as you poke it through the pinata. Then obviously I have a couple of little holes in the top of the pinata, and roughly you want to do this approximately a few inches down from the top of the pinata, if that makes sense. I'll bring it a little bit closer so you can see it. So as you can see, I've poked a hole just a few inches down from the top because you want it not right at the top, because you want to prevent any the rope coming through the top of the pinata or anything like that. So put a few inches down from the top, parallel on both sides. There we are. And then what we're going to do next is we're just going to get our little wooden spoon, and we're just going to poke it through the hole at the top, and then as you can see there, it's just about popping through the other side, and then I'm just going to use the scissors a little bit to help open that up a little bit. I'll take the pinata off. And it can be a little bit tricky, and just until you pull the spoon out, and then as you can see, the rope then comes through either side of the pinata, and then what you want to do is get it even at either end, and run your hand down the rope a little bit so you've got equal lengths on both sides, and then just tie a little loop, okay? So we're going to tie a little loop there, which will give us the basis of our piece of rope, because this will be the area that we use to hang it up. So just to finish it off, we want to put a bit of tape around the top and the ends of the rope just to glue to hold them together. I tend to put quite a bit on the end of the rope just to make it secure. And then I tuck a little piece around the bottom as well. So now, so there we are. We have a knot a few inches down from the top of the rope, and then we have the ends of the rope taped together. I'll bring that a little bit closer so you can see. So as you can see, we've got a knot a few inches down from the top and the ends taped together. This gives us the option of feeding a rope through this loop at the top. This loop's quite important because this will be the part of the rope on the pinata that will enable us to put it onto a rope that can then be hung on a tree or something. But I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. So there we are, we're just about finished. The last thing I've got to do is obviously one of the most important parts, obviously, the pinata, is using a pair of scissors again, and obviously ask an adult or an older sibling to help you with this. When you pierce it a little bit in the top, pinata, and then just cut. What you want to do there is cut a little flap out at the top of the pinata. So again, I'll bring this a little bit closer so you can see. All we've done is we've cut a little flap out the top of the pinata. And that gives us the ability and the opening to put the sweets in. Yep, so there we are. That's us more or less come to the end of the pinata making activity. As you can see here, we've got Sonic, we've got his little flap on the top, there's ropes ready, we've got Elsa from Frozen, we've got our iceberg, and last but not least, obviously, you want to make yourself a little stick. So we have a couple of bamboo sticks together, wrapped with a little bit of material around the edge and then wrapped in duct tape. And we also put a little piece of rope on the end for your hand to go in. And this enables you to keep it secure to your hand when you are using the pinata. And then, last but not least, you want to find a nice space, preferably outdoors if you can. You know, get another piece of rope, and as I was saying earlier, feed it through your loop, and get somebody to help you, or an adult, to put the other end of the rope over a tree, hang it in a tree. You know, you could do it indoors too if you had the space, if you had a big enough space, but just please be careful when you are using them. They are a lot of fun, and I hope you've enjoyed the pinata making activity, and you know, yeah, enjoy, have fun, enjoy the sweets, enjoy breaking them up. So yeah, I look forward to you. If you do want to send in any pictures of your pinatas or any other craft activities you've been up to, then feel free. I'd love to see them. But if you are making pinatas, yeah, have fun with them. So yeah, that's it for just now. Goodbye everybody.